What's happening, guys? This is James Blonde with MMOHuts.com with a quick weekly recap for MMO news and announcements for the week ending November 4th, 2013. And our first bit of news this week has to do with something we suspected from Neverwinter. Earlier last month, Cryptic Studios teased at an Archer-style class, and now they've come clean, and we can expect to see the new Hunter Ranger class very soon, in fact. The new class is set to have both ranged and melee abilities, switching the encounter type with one tap of the tab key. From the video here, he almost looks like a trickster rogue who picked up a bow and learned some range attacks. I'm actually okay with that. Being able to switch between an epic bow and arrow to razor-edged blades is okay by me. But the Hunter Ranger isn't the only new thing coming to Neverwinter. Cryptic Studios also announced the second expansion module in the game called Shadowmantle. Deep within Neverwinter Woods lies the Dread Ring, a massive structure built for ritual magic. Players explore this broken but still powerful region and fight Valindra Shadowmantle's army, including an epic battle with the Lich herself. In addition to the Hunter Ranger class and new playable content, Shadowmantle features new collections, artifacts, and Paragon paths. All of the new content, including the new class, is currently available on Neverwinter's public test shard, but planned to be fully released before the end of this year. Next up, the Repopulation released its second alpha trailer last week, showcasing the elaborate landscapes, PvP elements, open world creativity, player housing, character customization, the new fortress defense system, and plenty graphical improvements added during the development of the game. Honestly, for a game that has this much in its alpha stages, I can say it's worth getting excited for. The trailer's pretty extensive, so be sure to check it out to get a grasp on the game's features. Well, I think every shooter has a decent invasion mode, but add one to Hawken and you've got one badass invasion mode. The latest update to Hawken features such mode where players can team up to face waves of AI-controlled bots leading up to a boss mech that takes nearly the entire team to take down. The co-op invasion mode has some pretty cool elements within, like the ability to upgrade your mech on the fly from the EP you pick up from the bots you kill, and the ability to revive fallen teammates. They also added a new Predator mech this update, which I've got to say, I'm a huge Predator fan, and this new mech is of Predator essence. From the crazy alien weapons to the cloaking and even the vision, the Predator mech lives up to the name and oddly enough fits right in with the last eco map. The Invasion update is already live with all this cool content along with new parts and system balances. Seems like a pretty decent sized update. Sad news from EA and Victory Studios last week as the Command & Conquer project gets shut down. An official statement was made on their site saying they've decided to cease production of this version of the game. Apparently, it wasn't the free-to-play MMORTS players were looking for. Although EA decided to disband the Victory Studios team, they've already begun looking at a number of alternatives to get the game back on track. You know, fresh start again. I'd really like to see a new Command & Conquer. I hope in the long run this works out. Also last week, on Halloween Day in fact, The Lost Titans, a mythological-themed browser-based MMORPG, was launched under its new publisher, GBE Games. Previously published by ZQ Games, the developer, The Lost Titans is prepping a short open beta test to get the game back on track where players can enjoy tons of in-game events, item giveaways, and a chance to win Razer Gaming keyboards and mice. Might be worth checking out. And speaking of launching again, Alteil Horizons started their Kickstarter back up last week. Alteil Horizons is a trading card game with real strategic elements that eliminate a lot of the luck and power purchasing prevalent in most ITCGs. Originally, they canceled the Kickstarter so they could better adjust project deadlines, and they didn't quite have their development plans lined up with the changes involving the creators' partnerships. But now, with a lowered goal, they plan to get the ball moving, and they've already funded the project and plan to go into extended goals, offering backers some pretty nice incentives. Prime World introduced a new hero to the game last week, and depending on your faction, you can now storm the lanes with the Witch or Moira, as a fighter class hero also able to play the support role. Enemies attacked by the hero are more vulnerable to future attacks from the hero, and as one of her skills, she has a familiar that reaches out to each and every surrounding hero to deal damage. Overall, she seems like an easy hero to play, but it's still kind of weird though. When talking about heroes in Prime World, you've got both factions you've got to think about, even though they're exact clones. Last week, Aura Kingdom revealed a trailer packed with a full cast of characters players can choose from. 8 classes have now all been revealed. Melee lovers will look into the Guardian, Ravager, or Duelist's class, while those who favor spellcasters can take up a Wizard, Sorcerer, or Bard. And if you're looking to pack an explosive punch from a distance, go with the Gunslinger or the Grenadier. The classes in Aura Kingdom are defined primarily by the weapon they choose, but upon reaching level 40, players will have the option to choose a secondary weapon, thus letting the first choice advance. you might want to start looking into a class of choice now because we've got a feeling that the beta is actually sooner than you think. Star Trek Online announced release dates for its Season 8 update, and now on November 12th, players will transition from the already launched Sphere of Influence to the new content set for Season 8. Season 8 takes players into the unknown to face a dangerous and powerful foe from a distant quadrant of the galaxy. Teaming up with Ambassador Worf, voiced by Michael Dorm himself, players will explore a mysterious base and investigate the full extent of the Iconian Gateway network. Seems like it's going to be a pretty interesting update. Next up, Perfect World Entertainment also announced Dysil's Wrath, Forsaken World's latest expansion set to launch sometime this month. In this expansion, players will face off against each other in cross-server PvP, battle 3 brand new epic raid bosses, earn high-level PvP gear in the new arena season, construct guild buildings, and quite a bit more. Stay tuned to the news section at MMOHuts.com for more details as the new month rolls out. And on a similar note, Snail Games announced the coming of Age of Wushu's second expansion, Ultimate Scrolls. In this expansion's players will gain the chance to immerse themselves in the recreation of the Ming Dynasty with all new artistic renderings and beautiful visuals. The new content consists of secret scripts where players master the teachings of the treasured Helianthus Codex and Star Vortex. Players will face merciless adversaries and take on the ultimate challenge in their own school's gauntlet run. The Ultimate Scrolls are the pinnacle of the school's teaching and are now revealed, not to mention the marriage system we talked about a few months back. The new expansion is expected to shock the Wushu world on the 13th of this month. And for our last bit of news, Wargaming announced the rollout of World of Tanks 8.9 update for North America. 8.9 introduces 7 new German tanks, some rebalancing plus personal rating changes. But more importantly, the update introduces the new Northwest map plus the new Team Battle game mode. Team Battle is a 10-minute match designed for teams of 7 players to offer more concentrated matchmaking. So yet again, a pretty decent size update, in part targeted towards improvement. Not bad, Wargaming. Anyway guys, that's about it for MMO news and announcements for this week. If you're looking for more information about the news featured in this week's recap, check the links in the description below, then head over to MMOHuts.com/news. Feel free to discuss the news in the comments below, or head over to MMOHuts.com/forums. But until next time guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.